This is a discussion of questions from Chapter 1, Cambridge IGCSE, Biology 0610 past papers. By discussing chapter by chapter, you will be able to grasp the important concepts in each chapter easily. First discussion is on 2023 past questions. The others will follow. This is a multiple choice question, February-March 2023. Which row shows substances removed by excretion? Now, what is excretion? Excretion is removal of waste products of metabolism and substances in excess of requirement. If we go through the table that is here, you can see three columns where the first one is substances in excess of requirement. Second one, undigested food, and third one, waste products of metabolism. And if we take A, B, C, and D, C shows substances in excess of requirements, yes. Undigested food, no. Waste products of metabolism, yes. So C is the answer because undigested food removal is not considered as excretion. Choice question, February-March 2023. Which two parts are included in the scientific name of an organism? In giving a scientific name for a species, the binomial system is used. Binomial is two-term naming system. That is, the first one is genus, the second one is species. So if we go through the options, A is genus and group. It is not correct. B, genus and species. So that is the correct one. Because in a scientific name, first one is the genus, second one is the species. This is again a multiple choice question, February-March 2023. How many jointed legs does an insect have? So the insect characteristics show that the body has three parts, head, thorax, and the abdomen, pair of antennae, and three pairs of legs, and most have wings. So if we go through the options, you can see A, two pairs, B, three pairs, C, four pairs, D, more than six pairs. So the answer is three pairs of legs, which means six legs. In a multiple choice question, specimen paper from 2023. Humans have the scientific name Homo sapiens. What do the two parts of this name refer to? Now earlier also we learned a scientific name has two parts. The genus, that is the first one, species, the second one. So if we go through the options that are given, A is genus and species, B, group and genus, C, kingdom and genus, and D, kingdom and species. So the correct answer is genus and species. This is again a multiple choice question from the specimen paper 2023. Now there is a stonefly larva and you use a key to identify the stonefly larva. Now you know it is called a dichotomous key and it is used to identify different organisms using what you observe. So it has a series of statements with two choices, right? In each step that lead the user to correctly identify the organism. So if we go through this key, uh, use the key to identify the stonefly larva has two cerci at the end of the abdomen. So how many cerci this given larva has? Two. Then you have to go to 2. If you have 3 cerci, you go to 3. So now in our case, because there are only 2 cerci, we go to 2. Then next step is abdomen longer than thorax. Then it is identified as A. Now in this case, you can see the abdomen is longer than the thorax. So therefore, the correct answer is A. Okay. Table shows the features of the 5 kingdoms which may be useful in answering questions. Prokaryotes, protists, fungi, plants and animals. So prokaryotes are unicellular. Always they are unicellular. But protists, most are unicellular, like amoeba, some algae, but some may be multicellular. Fungi, plants and animals, all three are multicellular. Then the second feature is the cell wall. Prokaryotes also have a cell wall but not made of cellulose. Protists, some have cell walls like algae but some don't. Fungi, they have a cell wall but not made of cellulose. Plants, they have a cellulose cell wall and animals have no cell walls. Then the third feature is the nucleus. Now prokaryotes don't have any organelles, that is no nuclei, no mitochondria, anything. Protists and all the others, fungi, plants, animals, they have nuclei. Then chloroplasts. Now protists, some are photosynthetic, so they have chloroplast, while others eat and live on other living matter. They don't have chloroplast. Fungi, there is no chloroplast. Saprophytic nutrition is carried out by fungi. Plants, they have chloroplast and they are photosynthesizing. Animals, no chloroplast. They always feed on organic substances made by other living things. Specimen paper 2023. Now it states lichens are formed from two different organisms living together. The two organisms are organism X and organism Y in the lichen. The table shows some of the characteristics of organisms X and organism Y. So now you have the characteristics, and what you want to find out is which kingdom do X and Y belong to. Now according to the table that we had, now you know this X has uh, strands of uh, hyphae, strands of hyphae, and hyphae have cell walls and many nuclei. Now in fungi, actually the elongated cells covered with a cell wall, tubular cell wall, make hyphae, these uh, strands like structures. And they have many nuclei also, and hyphae are present in fungi. Then if you take Y, it is a single-celled organism, but it contains a nucleus and chloroplast. Now, single-celled ones are either prokaryotes or protoctist types. So, you can see, you can distinguish prokaryotes from protoctists is that although they are single-celled, protoctists have various organelles. That is, now they have a nucleus. According to that table also, you can remember that they have a nucleus and also the chloroplast because they are photosynthesizing protoctists. So now what you have to do is you have to go to the second table and give the kingdoms of X and Y. So if we go through this table, A shows X is a fungus. It is correct. Y is a prokaryote, but it can't be a prokaryote because prokaryotes don't have chloroplast or nuclei or anything. So B is again AX is fungus and Y is protoctist. So it is correct. X is fungus and Y is a protoctist based on its description. So the correct answer is B. Next question, you might want to know the vertebrate characteristics. That is, there are 5 groups: amphibians, birds, fish, mammals, and reptiles. Now, their main characteristics are the skin. If we look at the skin of amphibians, it's moist, smooth, but no scales. That is very important. Moist, smooth, and no scales. Birds, you can't miss that. That is body covered in feathers. Then fish will have a body covered in moist scales. Now they also have moist skin but with scales. Then mammals, the main thing is body is covered in hair or fur. Reptiles, they have a dry, scaly skin. Their skin is dry and there are scales. So that is the first distinguishing feature. Then the next one is the eggs, type of eggs. Amphibians lay soft eggs with no shells. Birds, of course, we know they lay hard-shelled eggs. And fish, they lay soft eggs with no shells. And mammals, they don't lay eggs, they have young ones, and the special character is they have mammary glands which feed their young. Then reptiles, they lay waterproof eggs with rubbery, soft shells. They are not very hard, rubbery, soft shells. So those are the most common features of these 5 vertebrate groups. Now if we go to the next slide, this is a paper 3 theory from the specimen paper 2023. Part A, lions are mammals and have the scientific name Panthera leo. The first question is, state one feature visible in figure 1.1 that identifies the lion as a mammal. So if you look at the picture, you can see hair. Now hair is one of the features which distinguishes mammals, hair or fur. So therefore, the answer is hair. Part 2, state the genus of this mammal. Now the scientific name is given. The first part is the genus, that is Panthera. So therefore the answer is, for the second part is Panthera. This is part B of the previous question. Mammals are one of the 5 groups of vertebrates. Some features of 3 vertebrate groups are listed. Identify the vertebrate group. First one is lay soft-shelled eggs. Now we saw in that table only 2 groups lay shelled eggs. One is birds, and birds we know have a hard shell. The second one is reptiles. Reptiles have soft rubbery shells. So therefore the answer is reptiles. The second one, feathers. Feathers under feathers. Now feathers are seen only in birds. So the answer is birds. The third one, smooth, moist skin. So we saw that according to the table, amphibians have smooth, moist skin. They don't have scales. So therefore the answer is amphibians. Next is again a multiple choice question from May-June 2023. What are characteristics of all organisms? You know the acronym Mrs. Gren. So it's very easy to see which ones are given in the options. So egestion, as I said earlier, egestion is removal of undigested matter, right? So it is not a life process. Egestion and excretion, no. Egestion and nutrition, no. And then excretion and nutrition. So you have in this acronym Mrs. Gren, excretion and nutrition. So that is C is the correct answer. Choice question. What are 2 characteristics of all living organisms? Now again we have to refer to Mrs. Gren. A, breathing and reproduction. B, photosynthesis and excretion. C, reproduction and respiration. D, respiration and photosynthesis. So the life processes, C, reproduction and respiration. Correct answer is C. Question is also from May, June 2023. MCQ, the scientific name for the golden eagle is Aquila crisites. Now, what is the genus of the golden eagle? So, you know, in a scientific name, first is the genus. Aquila is the genus. Therefore, answer is A. In June 2023, the question is living animals release carbon dioxide is an example of which life process? A. Excretion, B. Movement, C. Nutrition, D. Sensitivity. Now you should know carbon dioxide is produced as a metabolic waste product during respiration. So the individual cells respire and carbon dioxide is released as a waste product which is carried to the lung alveoli where it is excreted to the outside. So therefore the answer is excretion. Multiple choice question, May June 2024. Some yeast, sugar and water are mixed in a test tube. The diagram shows the test tube at the start and after 1 hour. Which process caused this change? A. Growth, B. Reproduction, C. Respiration, D. Sensitivity. Now you can see the yeast, sugar and water when it is mixed at the start, no air bubbles, while after 1 hour you can see bubbles of gas. So what has happened is the yeast cells have undergone respiration. Now they are individual cells. It's a unicellular organism. So it respires and the carbon dioxide is released to the substrate, that is the air, sugar water solution. So air bubbles are seen in this tube after 1 hour due to respiration. So the answer is C, respiration. Choice question, May June 2023. Some statements about species are given. Members of a species all look identical. Second one, members of a species belong to the same genus. 3 members of a species can produce fertile offspring. 4 species are named using an international system. So, which ones are valid? First one, members of a species all look identical. That is not true. Now, if you look at cats, they are not identical, although they are of the same species. Then members of a species belong to the same genus. It is true. Members of a species can produce fertile offspring. So that is also true. That is the definition of the species, that they can reproduce and produce fertile offspring. Then the fourth one is species are named using an international system. That is also true because internationally, worldwide, all scientists use the same name for a particular species. So 2, 3 and 4 are true. Therefore, the answer is D, where 2, 3 and 4 only. Multiple choice question, May, June 2023. The table shows some features of different animals. Which animal is a reptile? So we know now from the table that reptiles have scales. Therefore, if we go through the options, A doesn't have wings, doesn't have hair, that is the second column. When it comes to the third column, they have scales. So A is the correct answer. May, June 2023. The question is, what are excretion, sensitivity and reproduction characteristics of A. All animals and all plants, B. Animals only, C. Plants only, D. Some animals and some plants. So the answer is A, because they are the three life processes of all animals and all plants. The summarized table on characteristics of arthropods will help you to answer the questions related to arthropods. So if we take arthropods, they also have specific characteristics, that means segmented body, jointed legs and exoskeleton. So all have these features. When we take the groups, now if we take insects, body parts are head, thorax and abdomen, that is 3. Then number of legs are 3 pairs. Antennae are present, 1 pair of antennae. Then appearance looks like this. Some have wings, some don't. Then arachnids, they have 2 body parts, 4 pairs of legs, no antennae, and the appearance is like the spider, like this. Then myriapods, body with many segments. Each segment has legs, 1 pair of antennae, and the appearance is like this. Crustaceans, they also have 3 main body parts, but they also may be further segmented. And they have 5 pairs of legs. And the special thing is they have 2 pairs of antennae, which you should remember. And there is a picture of the crustacean. Multiple choice question, May, June 2023. The question is, the diagram shows 4 arthropods. How many of these arthropods are insects? A1, B2, C3, D4. So you have to find out how many are insects. If we look at the insect characteristics, you can see insects have only 3 pairs of legs. So X has 3 pairs of legs. When it comes to Y, it also has 3 pairs of legs. D has more than 3 and P also has more than 3. So that shows only X and Y are insects. Therefore, answer is B, which is 2 insects. multiple choice question, May June 2023. The photograph shows an organism. Which visible feature can be used to classify this organism as a bird? A. Feathers. So no doubt feathers are characteristic for birds. Then the others legs, but there are other species also which lay eggs. So answer is A, which is feathers. This is also multiple choice question. May June 2023 Co. The diagram shows an arthropod. Which features are characteristic of all arthropods? A. Jointed legs and segmented body. B. Jointed legs and thorax. C. Segmented body and wings. D. Thorax and wings. I showed in the chart too that features of arthropods, that is jointed legs and segmented body. So A is the correct answer. Co. May June 2023. A part of the question. Describe the meaning of the term species. So species definition is a group of organisms that can reproduce to produce fertile offspring. This is part 3 of the same question. State the names of two groups of arthropods other than myriapods. So of the three other groups, insects, arachnids and crustaceans, you can write two of those. Part 4 of the same question. State two features of plant cells that would be absent in the cells of the organism shown in figure 1.1. The organism shown in figure 1.1 belongs to the animal kingdom. So you know the differences between plant and animal kingdoms. Plant kingdom, the cells have specifically chloroplasts. Then also the cells have cell walls, while the animal cells don't have. Question. Adaptive features enable organisms to survive in their environment. Figure 1.2 is a photograph of another species of arthropod. Some of its adaptive features are visible in figure 1.2. See part 1 is state one adaptive feature visible in figure 1.2 that reduces water loss when the organism is on land. So all arthropods have an exoskeleton, but in this particular species, it has hardened so that it prevents water loss when it's on land. So the answer is the hardened exoskeleton. Then the second part is state the name of the kingdom that the organism in figure 1.2 belong to. So it is in the animal kingdom. That is the answer. Co. May June 2023. Figure 1.1 shows a photograph of a pseudoscorpion. First part is state two features visible in figure 1.1 that can be used to classify this organism as an arachnid. So one feature is that it has 4 pairs of legs. And the second feature is it has only 2 parts in the body. Of the same question, state the kingdom that arachnids belong to. So it is the animal kingdom. That is the answer. Then B1 is complete the definition of the term adaptive feature by inserting the missing words. Now, adaptive feature is an inherited feature that you should know. And what does it help? It helps to survive and also to reproduce in its environment. So therefore, the answers will be an adaptive feature is an inherited feature that helps an organism to survive and reproduce in its environment. Now, this is the second part of the same question. The part labeled A in figure 1.1 is an adaptive feature of the pseudoscorpion. Suggest a function of the part labeled A in figure 1.1. So the part that is a claw-like thing here, so it may be to catch prey, for defense, for all those purposes, it is using it. Therefore, the answer would be to catch prey or for defense. Theory, Co. May, June 2023. 1A is figure 1.1 is a photograph of an insect. Insects are arthropods. First part is arthropods belong to the animal kingdom. State the name of one other kingdom. So you can write either plant or fungi or even prokaryotes, protoctists, any of those as the answer to that question. 2. Part 2, state one feature visible in figure 1.1 that is present in insects but not in the other groups of arthropods. So one of the most obvious things are 3 pairs of legs. Or you can even write 3 body parts: head, thorax and the abdomen. Part 3 of the same question. Complete table 1.1 by writing, the first one is names of 2 groups of arthropods other than insects. Second one is one identifying feature for each named group. So you have the other groups: arachnids, crustaceans or myriapods. So if it is group 1, if you take arachnids, the identifying feature would be they have 4 pairs of legs and also 2 body parts. So if you take crustaceans, they have 5 pairs of legs, sometimes even more. And one special feature in crustaceans is 2 pairs of antennae. Myriapods, if you take, then it has many pairs of legs and many segments in the body. Of the same question, figure 1.2 is a photograph of a leaf insect. State one adaptive feature visible in figure 1.2 and suggest how the adaptive feature helps the animal to survive. So the feature is actually it appears as a leaf. So the answer is leaf-like appearance. Suggestion is camouflage to protect from predators. So it won't be eaten by other animals. Multiple choice question. October, November 2023. Some processes carried out by living organisms are listed. 1. Egestion. 2. Excretion. 3. Reproduction. 4. Respiration. Which processes are carried out by all living organisms? So if we go through the 4, egestion is removal of undigested matter, and it is not considered as a process carried out by all living organisms. But excretion, reproduction, and respiration are carried out by all living organisms, and therefore C is the answer, where 2, 3 and 4 only is the answer. This is a multiple choice question. October, November 2023. The scientific name for humans is Homo sapiens. What does Homo refer to? A mammal, B genus, C kingdom, D species. So we know Homo is the genus of this particular species. This is a multiple choice question. October, November 2023 core. What are characteristics of all living organisms? A. Breathing, growth and movement. B. Digestion, nutrition and reproduction. C. Digestion, excretion and respiration. D. Reproduction, respiration and sensitivity. So in A, breathing is not a characteristic of all living organisms. So A is out. In B, egestion is not a characteristic of all living organisms. So therefore, it is also out. C, digestion is also not a characteristic of all living organisms. In D, reproduction, respiration and sensitivity, all three are characteristics of all living organisms. So D is the answer. Which is a multiple choice extended October, November 2023. Question is, the diagram shows an organism called Chlamydomonas. Which processes can Chlamydomonas carry out? So if you look at the diagram, we can see there are mitochondria. Mitochondria carry out aerobic respiration. So they can carry out aerobic respiration. Ribosomes. If ribosomes are there, they can carry out protein synthesis. Then chloroplast. Chloroplast can carry out photosynthesis. So now we will see the options. A. Photosynthesis and respiration only. It is not correct because they can, in addition to protein synthesis. B. Photosynthesis, respiration and protein synthesis. That is correct. C again is protein synthesis and respiration only. It is omitted that chloroplast can photosynthesize. D. Respiration only. That is also not correct. So B is the correct answer, where photosynthesis, respiration and protein synthesis can be carried out. In a multiple choice question, October-November 2023, extended, which processes are characteristics of all living organisms? So 1 is digestion, 2 respiration, 3 excretion. Now we know respiration and excretion are the only processes that all living organisms carry out. So therefore C is the correct answer, where 2 and 3 only. Next question, October-November 2023. The question is, using the binomial system, the Arctic fox is called Vulpes legopus. Which row is correct? So now you are given Vulpes and legopus and 4 options. A is Vulpes is the genus, that is correct, but legopus is given as the kingdom, which is wrong. Then if we take option B, Vulpes is the genus and Legopus is the species. So that is the correct one. B is the correct answer. Multiple choice question, October-November 2023. The question is, the diagram show 4 different types of arthropods. Which organism is labeled with its correct arthropod group? Now if we take A, it is labeled as crustacean. So crustaceans have 5 pairs of legs, and this picture also shows 5 pairs of legs. And if you closely see, it has 2 pairs of antennae. So that is A is correctly labeled. If we take B, it is labeled as an insect. Now insects have only 3 pairs of legs, but this one has B has 4 pairs of legs, so that is also wrong. C is labeled as myriapod, but it has only 3 segments in the body, so that is also wrong. D is labeled as arachnid, and it has many segments in the body with many jointed legs, so D is also wrong. So the correct answer is A, crustacean. It's a multiple choice question, October-November 2023. Using the binomial system, the name of a lion is Panthera leo. Which statement is correct? The lion belongs to the kingdom Panthera. It is not correct. The lion belongs to the animal kingdom. B, the lion belongs to the genus Panthera. That is correct, because in the scientific name, the first one is the genus name, which is Panthera. So the correct answer is B. The choice question, October-November 2023. Which row is correct for arthropod classification? Now it is given the arthropod group, antennae present, number of body parts and number of legs. So if we take A, the arachnids, antennae present, it says no. Number of body parts 2, that is correct. Number of legs 6, that is not correct. So it is not the answer. Then crustaceans, antennae present, yes. Then number of body parts 3, but number of legs are either 5 pairs or more. Then when it comes to insects, see, antennae present? Yes. Number of body parts? 3. Head, thorax and abdomen. And number of legs? 6. That is correct. So C is the correct answer. This is paper 1 multiple choice, October November 2023. Which feature would place organisms into the crustacean group of arthropods? A. 8 legs, B. 6 legs, C. 2 pairs of antennae, D. Usually have 2 pairs of wings. So in the table also we saw that crustaceans have 5 pairs or more legs. So A and B are not correct, but they have a special feature, 2 pairs of antennae. So the answer is 2 pairs of antennae, which is C.